Well, look at you. You made it to level 5, Circle Similarity. You should be pretty proud of yourself. It's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, let's just get started. Let's talk about some circles. This whole unit's about circles. And the first thing we're going to talk about is circle similarity. Now, something you might not know, but you should, is that all circles are similar. Why are they all similar? Well, you might remember, if two shapes can be mapped onto each other with a similarity transformation, then you know the shapes are similar. Well, you can use similarity transformations to map any two circles onto each other. Don't believe me? Watch and learn. First thing I'm going to do with my circle A and circle B, so I can map them onto each other, is I'm going to translate them, right? That's probably where I should start. So I'm going to map A onto B by translating it along AB. Those are the centers, all right? So I'm going to start this with a translation along AB, all right? If I translate this onto AB, I get the centers in the same place. That's hugely important. I got to match up my centers. Well, now, what do you think I got to do? That's right, I just got to dilate it. If I dilate it, then every part of this circle will shoot outwards, and then, yeah, they're mapped on top of each other. So let's dilate it, okay? So I'm dilating. I know it's not like dilating from the center, so that's why it's getting a little crazy. We're dilating, and boom! Look, I mapped them onto each other. That was pretty tight. Now, the big thing is, though, you might remember that when we do a dilation, we need to know the scale factor, right? So what is our scale factor here? Well, it's going to be our image, the length of the image over the pre-image, which in this case is our radiuses. So the bigger circle has a radius of 8, and the smaller circle has a radius of 3. So that is my scale factor right there. The bigger radius over the smaller radius. Radius over my radius. Okay? And this is big one, and this is my small one. All right? So let's write our second part out. So first we did translation along AB, and then a dilation with a scale factor of 8/3, centered at our center, which could either be A or B. So this could be A, and if you really want to, it could also be B. So that's it. If you want to prove that any two circles are similar, just do a nice little translation and dilation, and you good. You good. Don't believe me? Let's try it again. We're going to prove circle X, which is right here, is similar to circle Y, which is over here, by describing a sequence of transformations that map the circles onto each other. So let's just do exactly what we just did. We're going to start off with a nice little translation along the centers. So that's XY in this case. So let's move our circles around XY. He's moving. He's having fun. He did it. All right. I just want to send that to the back so you can see the whole thing. Good. So we started with our translation along XY. So a translation along XY. All right. The next thing we have to do is a dilation. Okay. And we have to figure out our scale factor. Well, remember, our scale factor is the image over the pre-image. And in this case, our bigger radius is 7, and our smaller radius is 5. So it's 7 over 5. All right, and that's it. So if I expand this circle by 7/5, guess what? They map onto each other. Pretty cool. So first we did translation along XY, and then a dilation with a scale factor of 7/5, centered at either X or Y. I'm going to say point X. Oh, let's try one more. So in this case, we're going to prove circle C is similar to C prime by describing a sequence of transformations that maps the circles onto each other. All right, well in this case, circle C is our bigger guy, right? That's the big guy in this case. But this is our pre-image, so we're going to map it over, do a translation along C prime. Oh, why is that? Okay. So our first step, let's write that out, was a translation along C prime. All right. And then what are we going to do? We're going to do a dilation. But first we have to figure out our scale factor. Our scale factor is the image factor is going to be the image over the pre-image. And in this case, our image length, the C prime, let me just separate these two so it's clear. C prime is our image, so that is 3. And then our pre-image was 9. Remember, this tells me that that is the image, that prime. So our scale factor, why can't I spell image, is going to be reduced to 1/3. So a translation along CC prime, and then a dilation of 1/3, centered at, don't forget your center, at point C or C prime, whatever you prefer. Now, just remember, if you use this template, you will be good every time. It'll get you there. Blank, a translation along a line, and then a dilation with the scale factor centered at a point. So that's it. All circles are similar. I know, it's crazy, but it's true. So now we're going to move on to the same thing, but we're going to do it on the coordinate plane, okay? So in this case, you'll see that the radiuses of our two circles aren't given to us, right? Before there was a number there. We have to figure those out for ourselves first. So our first step is to figure out what our radius is. And that we do that by just drawing the radius and then counting. So in this case, our radius is 1, 2, 3. Okay? That's F prime. And F, that's our radius here. And our radius of this guy is 1, 2. All right? Well, now we just have to write out our transformation. Our transformation that maps them onto each other. And the first thing, once again, it's always going to be a translation here. So first we're going to do a translation along line F prime, okay? And then we're going to do the dilation. And remember, the scale factor is just the image over the pre-image. So our image, and we know that because that has the prime, is 3. And our pre-image, and that doesn't have the prime, is going to be 2. So translation along F prime, and a dilation with a scale factor of 3/2 centered at point F or F prime. It doesn't matter. So let's just do F. All right, we're killing it right now. Let's try this again, okay? We're going to prove circle F is similar to circle F prime by describing a sequence of transformations that maps the circles onto each other. All right, well, first let's draw our radiuses. In this case, once again, this is 1, 2, 3. And in this case, we draw it, and that is 2. And the radius is just the center to the circumference. All right, in this case, once again, it's going to be a translation. We're going to start with a translation along F prime. And then we're going to do a dilation with a scale factor of, let's see, our image is F prime, so it's going to be 2, and our pre-image, which doesn't have the prime, 1/3. And we center that at F. All right, so if I translate this along F prime, and then I do a dilation with a scale factor of 2/3, I'm good money. I'm good money. All right, for our final one, we're going to show that circle A with a center of -1, 7 and a radius of 2 is similar to circle B with a center of 6, -1 and a radius of 3. So this is basically the same question, right? But it's just not drawn for us. So let's just do some drawing. So we go to -1, 7. That is circle A. And then we have circle B, which center at 6, -1. And that's our B. Now the way you draw your circle is you actually have to get out what I like to call a compass. They're kind of fun. You'll enjoy them. So hold on one sec. We get out our compass. Okay? All right, now that you got your compass out, what you do is, you know that circle A has a radius of 2. So you go from here, and then you just draw 2 away. That's going to be where your radius is. Okay? Now that you got your radius, take your compass. Let's move this up a little. Okay? We're going to take our compass. All right? We put it on the center. We're going to put it on the center. Let's put that there. We're going to put our compass on the center. Put on center. We're going to open it the length of the radius. All right? And then you just go around like so. Isn't that beautiful? Sure is. Now, you don't have to use a compass. You could do it with your hand, but it's not going to be nearly as pretty. And you want it pretty. Pretty goes a long way. All right, for our second one, circle B has a radius of 3. So we go 3 away. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's going to be our radius. We bring our compass down. We open it to 3 now. And now we draw another circle. And now we got circle B. All right, so now that we got that, you can take your compass. Let's put it away. And now we just have to say our transformation that maps A onto B. So for this one, it's going to be a translation along AB, and then a dilation. So once it moves from A to B, all right, there's going to be a dilation with a scale factor. Well, how are we going to get our scale factor? Well, we count. This is 3. This is 2. It's not always 3 and 2. It's just that I picked these examples. They all have 3 and 2 apparently. Our image is B. Our pre-image, the one we start off, is 2. And we're going to center it at A. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's A or B. Either one's fine. And that's it for this lesson. Hope you liked it because it was all gizzy.